Well, Canada's GDP edged ever so slightly down in April, according to a new report by Stats Canada. Overall, the country's gross domestic product was down 0.1% in April, this following a 0.2% increase in the month prior. The manufacturing sector saw a notable hit, 1.9%, its largest drop in 4 years. Wholesale trade also saw the same decrease, its largest since 2023. Arts, entertainment, and recreation, though, saw a big boost. Big thanks for that going to the 5 Canadian teams who qualified for the NHL playoffs this year for the first time since 2017. And BNN Bloomberg's Paul Bagnell joins me now to talk more about this and what these numbers actually mean. Paul, thanks for joining us.
Roger, thanks for having me on. You're correct. Gross domestic product fell during the month of April, and StatsCan, Roger, also provided what the agency refers to as a flash estimate for the month of May. A flash estimate is a preliminary estimate. It is subject to revision, but it's an early heads up from StatsCan on what may have happened to the Canadian economy during the month of May. And the StatsCan says that the value of all goods and services produced in the Canadian economy, in other words, gross domestic product, also fell by 0.1% in the month of May. So down 0.1% in April, quite likely down 0.1% in May. If June's gross domestic product performance is simply flat, that would mean a contraction of gross domestic product in Canada in the second quarter of the year. All of this is clear evidence of a slowing economy. I spoke with a senior economist at the Conference Board of Canada today on this as soon as the numbers were released, and he said, without much doubt, there is no doubt that the Canadian economy is slowing, and it's reflected in these numbers.
Do we know what's driving that?
Big one in April, and quite likely May as well, was reduced exports of Canadian products, and tariffs are a clear reason there. Those products, the majority of which, of course, are bound for the United States, are more expensive with U.S. tariffs, at least on the industries that are affected by the tariffs. So that's the big one. Tariffs are the big one.
Okay, and any sectors more concerning than others, and can we start talking about the R-word recession?
The second question first. It's too early for that. A recession is 2 consecutive quarters of negative economic growth. If we talked about what would happen if June's economic performance was flat, that would mean a contraction of about 0.3%, I think, in the second quarter. First quarter economic growth was positive, so we would be nowhere near the 2 consecutive quarters. As for sectors, manufacturing was the big one, and tariffs were the big reason why.
Okay, Paul, thank you as always.
Thanks a lot.